How long does it take you to walk to school every day?
2 heures de temps.
Aren't you tired?
Ainda fatigué.
Whoa, Chris. You haven't posted a video in years. That video's over 6 years old. You need to slow down, pull it back just a little bit. I don't know how to start this video at all. So, I guess that's where I'll start. This video I've needed to make for way too long. How long? 2 years. Yep, that long. 2 whole years later, I still have no idea how I'm gonna put it together. So I suppose I'll just say it. I'm a white male with a superiority complex. Anyways, why Haiti? And more importantly, why now? I went to Haiti because it was the most poverty place I could think of. The place where the people that were living there had it the worst. From the earthquake in 2012 killing over 230,000 people to being labeled the most third world country in the Western Hemisphere. I went to Haiti because they had it bad. At the time, on the outside, I had made it. I just hit 1 million subscribers. I was planning a tour all across America to visit my fans. I was making more money than I could fully grasp. Having my grandparents call to tell me they read a Huffington Post article with me in it. My childhood dream, American dream, the dream of every millennial alive today. But I wasn't happy. I was living my dream, but I hated it. Why wasn't I happy?
I'm depressed and I don't want to make YouTube videos anymore. I don't know how to do anything anymore.
I thought I was just anxiety. I thought anxiety was just me and that's all I was gonna have. And then I had this. It changed everything.
You know, like I'm gonna do my tour and I think it'll be good when I do it, but I'm just.
But why was I sad? Why was I depressed?
I just don't want to do it.
Some bad things had happened to me. I was blackmailed by a roommate, backstabbed by a best friend.
I've known that he's been obsessed with views and numbers and subscribers. Like literally he had like, I don't know, probably like 60 or 70,000. He fakes it. He has never literally cried on camera. When you see him crying, it's fake. I've watched him rub his eyes raw until they're really pink, and then he puts water in his eyes because he wanted to cry in the video, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Who's a famous little victim?
And in my head, I was being a crybaby because I wasn't strong enough to handle it.
I have something to say. I want to leave LA.
And on top of all that, my group of friends at the time had cut me out completely.
And if I did call the cops, she could be arrested.
Do it. Call
They're all there, man. And it's like not fair to me.
And so many others had it so much worse. In more ways than just one, my life and career was spiraling. I had just painted my car in lipstick for a girl I liked after leaving her for my ex as my massive act of forgiveness, then accidentally scratching my cornea with one of the roses I bought her, getting hospitalized, drugged, and then having my tire blow off my car on the way home. My acne was getting bad and my attitude even worse. You could say I was letting fame get to me. Just a little.
And you climb your way to the top by smashing other people down to the bottom.
And then, after all of that, at the peak, when things were the most stressful they had ever been in my life, it was finally time for my American tour. I am going on tour. I have the dates. I have everything. Everything is not perfect timing. All this success, and I feel like more of a failure than I've ever felt in my entire life. Yeah, I booked a flight to Haiti for tomorrow.
Chris, why would you do that? I think Haiti's a bad place to go right now. Listen, maybe instead of Haiti, how about going to Peru and visiting Luke? Did you think of that?
Okay, bye. Not everyone's gonna support you, but you gotta do what your heart tells you to do. I booked a flight to Haiti. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. I've never traveled alone or to a third world country at that, but I know that this is what I need to do. So finally, to my friends and family, thank you all so much for all the endless love and support you've given me. To my fans, thank you for everything that you've done for me, for watching me and putting up with all my crazy ups and downs throughout all these years. This is goodbye. This is the end of one chapter of my life and the beginning of another. Thank you. Little did I know, the depression I was experiencing was something so much darker. So I have just arrived in Haiti, and I just got to my hotel. I don't know what now. I had no plan. So I took a taxi from the airport to a cafe, went on Airbnb, and tried to look for one with sort of a charity or some sort of foundation, something that likened to the fact that I had 1 million subscribers and was in Haiti and tried to take advantage of that. But it's such fucking bullshit because ever since then, there's a little breaking of the fourth walls, but I've been so guilty every time I think about making videos because I'm like, oh my god, I gotta do that Haiti video. And there's been so many things that have happened since then. I've moved 100 times, I got addicted to Kratom, and then Adderall, and then opiates, pills, and heroin, oh, and then fentanyl. And through all of that, just this little voice in my head, you're a failure. It's literally 6 years late, but it's here. To my luck, I found one with a nice looking picture of a man that read Jeff Cherubin Foundation. It was an awesome Airbnb where I met one of the coolest people I've ever met in my life, Felix. Everybody loves Felix. And he kindly offered to bring me to all the schools he works with. A big trip, he would warn me, where we would have to go up deep into the mountainside, take taxi, bus, then ride on motorbikes, and finally hiking in areas with no electricity, no modern technology. I was fucking pumped. I was pumped. I was really lost and confused. I think it's time that you take a different approach to your life. I didn't know what to do with myself. Beauty pie. Yeah. I wanted to really speak my heart. You see, I was really upset about all the drama I had going on YouTube, and I tried to make a video about it.
The things that he said in that video that weren't true, that really hurt my feelings, that he would say those things that just were completely untrue.
Looking back at it, I was way overreacting and making it so much worse for myself. I knew to complete the mission successfully, I had to pull out the big guns. That's when I called my BTB OG Lucas Thomas Core. I made it. This is so cool. Sick, right? Where am I right now? Woo! Your shirt! I like it! And now that the two were back, things started to get cool. This is the crib. Really cool. With my best friend.
Alonius. Oh my word, my hair looks so like fat.
I told you. We were really busy.
Hey guys, you've probably been wondering why I haven't been posting videos.
We haven't had time to post videos.
Luke, how come you haven't posted a video in 4 years?
I just had other things.
Really?
Sorry I haven't been posting videos in a while, but the reason is because I'm really busy.
I've just been super duper busy lately.
I haven't had a chance to make a video.
Busy.
Shoot.
Actually, what's new?
I got it at a dollar store.
Nice.
In all actuality, we messed around for a few days. I showed him around my hotel. Luke did some of his Spanish homework.
Shut up!
I was very jealous of Luke learning Spanish. I introduced him to Felix and we went into the town, went to eat, and were crowded by large quantities of groups of girls and guys who spoke to us in a generally neutral tone. But they were screaming. Felix assured us that this was typical. It was a good time.
We have the plantains, and Keems is with us. This is Keems. So Keems, what do you think on that English? So Keems doesn't speak English.
The boys were back. And better than ever.
I have really bad acne.
A few days later, our journey began. We first took a bus called Tap Tap, the equivalent to the public bus, but in Haiti. This is something special. It's a flatbed truck with no sides. Well, sometimes there's sides. The back is completely taken off, and then you jump onto the flatbed trailer, where you hang on, and then tap onto the person next to you's shoulder when you reach your destination, so they tap the next person, and then it leads to the driver, who stops the bus. Hence the name Tap Tap. Then we went on the bus, strapped our luggage on the top of the roof with all of our camera gear, childhood memories, and everything, and went on our way. Those were some beautiful views. After we finished, we went to a church where we met the priest and a couple kids that were really cool. Here we visited a couple schools where we got a few interviews, waved our hands at some girls, gave a few high fives, and filmed lots of cool footage.
I think we look really scary.
Then, things got cool. We went into town, met up with some locals who had some bikes, like motocross bikes. And they took us for hours, like literally a full day, through the mountains, no fucking helmets, none of us. They also took us to a few cool schools. The kids there loved seeing us. Felix told me that these were some of the nicest schools in the entire country. Education is the only hope for these kids and their families.
Do you eat every morning before you go to school? Do you sometimes get pulled out of school because of money?
They work and spend all extra to support just one child going to school, Felix told me. It's heartbreaking, yet so complicated at the same time. We interviewed more kids. Interviewed some teachers.
Et comment changement a privé fait parce que mais n'a pas enseigné dans l'école. C'est la chambre classe qui gagne 5e et 6e année parce que nous n'avons pas un problème. Problème qui passé c'est parce que les n'a pas enseigné, les vinn faire un écho. Ça professeur l'autre bois a dit c'est ça qui retourner la caille nous. C'est-à-dire chambre yo trop près. Nous venons au dernier moment là que nous voyons qui ça pour nous faire ni à gauche ni à droite.
And, of course, the principal.
C'est directeur pédagogique. Il est capable parce que nous avons des problèmes route là, tout qui va problème pour véhicule entrer, ben plus de problème parfois. Ici tous ces volontaires parce que nous avons 1 an, 3 mois de pas toucher boy ici par cause des moyens. Si vous nous payez l'école là, c'est vous payez $150 pour année.
After this, we went to the border of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, where we stayed at our final destination. We stayed in an old cabin with tons of bugs and mosquitoes, birds and goats, where I saw the biggest spider I have ever seen in my entire life.
So Luke was trying to take a poop.
In the middle of the night that night. Pretty awful, huh? Felix told me that to see these last few schools, we would need to go on foot. There was no bus, taxi, or motorbike that could go through these parts. So, we hiked.
Of the most difficult thing I've ever done in my lifetime. Well, next to giving birth.
Here I could really see the long walk to school that these kids had to take. There were tons of children in groups, some by themselves, walking home from school. A little bit later, when we were by the stream, we saw some kids who weren't in school. These kids were the brothers and sisters of the kids who were in school, unfortunately working for their parents, either babysitting their brothers and sisters or fetching water and other things for the family. Felix was right, these schools were the poorest schools I'd ever seen in my life. A lot of these classrooms were multiple classrooms in the same building, separated by pieces of tarp. Some of the schools were literally falling apart, but when we got to the very end, we saw the school that Felix's organization built. It was actually pretty impressive, made of real cinder blocks rather than tarp and sheet metal. The biggest takeaway I had from visiting Haiti, other than just realizing how truly bad they have it, was just seeing how grateful these kids were to have education, to have one another, to have community, and how devoted they were to learn. It is such a blessing that I've always had. And just like that, we were on our way. We hiked back to the house, getting packed up from the house. Whoa, what's this? Is that burned? Or is it just, what in the world? It looks so nasty. And then some Colgate.
I could stay here for like a month.
Same by room, by bed, and by look.
This is for the foundation.
Thank you. Thanks. And within the next 24 hours, we drove back, went to the airport, and went home. And that was my trip to Haiti. So now the big question, was I enlightened? Changed? Did I realize just how good I had it? And then went back to making videos, ignored all the drama? No, unfortunately, that's not what happened at all. I knew I was extremely privileged. It really wasn't a shock to me that much how bad Haiti was. It was sort of just proof that everything I knew deep inside was true. The world is broken, but I couldn't grasp that so was I, and I desperately needed to heal. No, I thought that I was a selfish piece of shit. I thought that I was worthless and rotten and evil. I went fully into the self-loathing and said, fuck it, you know? I should just try to be happy. And that led to me trying everything I never thought I would try and going into the darkest depths of the universe. I had no concept of how to ignore the haters. I had no concept of how to speak my truth. I didn't know what my truth was. It was too lost by all these voices in my head. I had no boundaries. I had no boundaries. I didn't care about anything. But sure enough, it wasn't until I just got one friend who was into... But that's a story for another day. The point is, this experience in hindsight was a great experience. An experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. I completely quit YouTube after that. I couldn't even conceive what it would be like to edit this video. Whenever I would think about the Haiti video, I'd be like, just hate comments would start flooding my head that weren't real. Hate comments that I had assumed and generated. Things that weren't even true, like misconceptions of what I was doing. So I did drugs. I did the fuck out of drugs for a long time. Not for all 6 years though. And that's the whole video right there. Man, did this one take me a long time. Not just to make it, but actually like putting it together once I was like committed to it. So yeah, you guys, I put the charity links to the charity we worked with under in the description below, all of their links. Now, I can't tell you guys with 100% certainty that this charity is legit. You know, nowadays there's a lot of charities that are scammy and not legit, but what I can tell you is that if this charity was, that would be the most insane thing I've ever thought of or ever heard. I've given money to the charity but do with your money what you wish. I found them on Mission Finder. I'm not a Christian or a missionary. I do recognize that often missionaries, when they're not skewed by just trying to put Jesus in someone, they do things. They make things happen. And generally, they care less about money, from what I've seen. But once again, I don't know for sure. I just went there and found them and did the thing. Regardless, it's in the description below, and so are other links to places where you can donate to Haiti or find out more information about how you can help the situation in Haiti. Yeah, guys, this is my comeback video. I'm back on YouTube, and I'm gonna be posting every week again. Yeah, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans. That's how I make money right now. Yeah, I didn't make any money from this video. There are probably ads on it because I used copyrighted music, but I'm not making a dime from that. It's all going to whoever they captured the song from this video. Yeah. So yeah, guys, there's gonna be all kinds of new content on this channel, telling you about my life, my new routines. I'm a fucking yoga guru now. All the new things I do for my mental and physical, how I got over my drug addiction, the relationship that I've been in for 3+ years, more details about the cultish community that I lived in where everyone did psychedelics and was also a drug addict in recovery. It's gonna be a fun time. So yeah, guys, there it is. And yeah, with all that said, I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week.